Game number 3, there's one win on either side of here. We'll see who takes it all in Team Eager versus Most Wanted. Eager opting this time around for the first pick and the first ban. We'll see how this one fares. And Chronos. So, again, similar to last game, right? Most Wanted said, okay, you guys, we won, but we still don't want to deal with this character from you. Eager goes, we won, but we still don't want to deal with Transonics Chronos.
Yeah, and just limiting Trans's carry potential,
Khepri.
limiting AirCougar's carry potential. And really, when we talk about Trans, he hasn't had a chance to play Soul yet either. And it looks like Eager's very scared of Trans as they try to limit his possibility of what they want. The Vamana ban has been a little bit curious on what's going on here, but Odin's going to be picked up by Eager. As you could tell, it looks like Most Wanted, I don't know, they're kind of panicking here with these picks, but there's the Khepri.
Absolutely got to go for the Khepri. He's been so powerful in both of these games so far. Not just for the ultimate, but really those plucks. The abduct has been absolutely imperative to a lot of these teams' game plans and team fights, as Kuang is selected on the side of Khepri to ensure that the execute won't be abused by Team Eager.
I love this adjust. I mean, that was his breakout performance against the people of Erde carry, right, in the semifinals. So that's what got them here. Let's go back to it and blow up Eager as Neith is locked in here for global engagement. And really, this ISIS has been a key pick last game.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if it continues being that this game.
Delta Marine's really shown up on the ISIS. Now, Mytheria, known as Myflin here, he has a Thanatos on PC. I wonder if he goes Thanatos on the Xbox.
Maybe.
We'll take a look.
I love the Zeus.
With the Zeus locked in, might pose a little bit of a problem. Hunbat's banned out, so Most Wanted does not want Myflin on that monkey. And Shivalanke also banned out. You weren't kidding.
Yeah.
You weren't kidding.
Focus Myflin.
Eager focusing up Transonics as well.
I mean, he had a decent showing. Last game he did die a ton. But, yeah, the biggest thing here is I love the focus. So the focus on Eager, you can tell the most valued player on Most Wanted would be Trans for Eager. And then Most Wanted wants to do their best to limit Myflin.
Oh, yeah. Very, very, a lot of attention being paid to these very important players as Most Wanted selects Tier and Sobek on the side of Eager. They've got one more choice. It'll either be a solo lane or a jungle, and it looks like it's going to be a Kali.
Which I respect that. That's going to be a huge Myflin known for his Kali. Let's see if he can go in this game. He has plenty of targets to kill. Tier is, in my opinion, with the Fearless down, very easy to kill once you get the right itemization going. Kuang, you could definitely deal with the execute with, you know, the fact that you can't die in Kali ult. And then obviously Zeus has no way of escaping. You can beat him down and ult through his damage. So it's going to come down to how well they can control this Kali. The Odin's going to be even better for locking down the key targets. And I love the Ullr pickup. It's going to be the first time I get to see Trans with this Ullr.
So Ullr works very well against Odin, obviously. Has a great time dealing with Kali with the turnaround stun and then a jump away, even some dash, even some movement speed abilities. My question here is, even on the PC, which the argument is always PC is a little bit more precise as far as the controls are, even on the PC, Ullr is looked at as a character that you can only play if you can land those combinations, you know, almost without the stun sometimes. You need to be able to land those combos. On the Xbox, as we keep mentioning, Transonics is an Xbox native, so I want to see how well he plays this Ullr because it's so execution heavy. Ullr's a character that almost exists in every meta as long as you can play him well, and that just isn't the case for a lot of the players.
Yeah, the scariest thing with Trans on Ullr is if you do miss that key axe, miss that key ability, it could spell curtains.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in this laning phase. I mean, Sobek Neith is nothing to laugh at. Lots of aggression, lots of clear. And Jellly, AirCougar, I mean, they're not going to mess around. They're going to go in full force, and Trans Wubbin, they need to be on their toes. And the second Trans misses his abilities, that could be lane control for Eager.
Big deal about Sobek into the Ullr is that if and most likely when you get plucked as an Ullr, you do have that immediate jump ability to get out. So Ullr fares a little bit better than some other hunters over here in the long lane against this Sobek situation. Even if you get rooted, you can jump well rooted. So Ullr has a couple of tools at his disposal to deal with the various characters on the map. It's all about how he executes. And taking a look towards the mid lane, we'll see as everybody meets up here. Kali and ISIS, the antithesis of each other pretty much. ISIS as early as you can get. Kali pretty much as late as you can get. Whereas Zeus and Kuang on the other side, very late game oriented.
Yeah, the biggest thing here is Kali is gonna have a hard time. Both these mid laners are actually gonna have to carry their jungler counterparts through the early game because they're both known for their weak early game. They don't really have too much.
Beautiful Spirit Ball, going to cut off a just. The jump not going to land from Myflin, and he's got to be careful because of those stacks from Zeus. One ring around him, waiting for the trucker horn. Not going to find the detonate just yet. Strong showing from Zeus right away.
Oh, Wubbin flipped on the tower. This could be first blood if the root is available. It's not, and Cougar actually gets aggressed on, and the abilities turns that around 180 and slaps down the Cougs.
So, that question I asked you before, Allied, I think it's answered.
That was a dank axe, able to recognize that Wubbin was, like, the focus was Wubbin.
Yep.
Recognizes the focus was Wubbin. Trans turns it around completely and bursts him down with the help of the archers.
Because, again, we noticed it. Transonics always winds up picking the right character. Matt Koiz is going to get blown up here by Dwurst, quite literally, with the Raven Shield underneath the tower. Wubbin in some trouble, and here comes Transonics trying to find the kill on the Jellly. That time his abilities will miss, but sometimes you got to support your support.
I love how Trans able to body block for Wubbin. Jellly is so deep.
Jelly's in trouble.
Ooh, bladed arrow right off the mark, barely. That probably would have been at least close.
I'm going to cut you off. Do you go in right now? Do you jump in and go for Jellly?
No, not at all. It really depends on what your jungler. You always, no matter how juicy it looks, it always depends on jungler rotation and mid, where they are, if they can even help on any kind of rotation. So I think Trans made the right call. Obviously, the call there was let's do back harpies as Zeus Kuang. No rotation coming out. Let's just, I mean, he already has a lead, right? No reason to risk it for the biscuit.
One of the big things that I mentioned last game on the Chronos was that Transonics picked the perfect target to stun out. He got aggressed on by Jellly, and then knew that he had to stun out AirCougar because that was the actual threat, right? The Khepri's not going to do much damage. That time when Transonics picks up the first blood, he notices that AirCougar is paying all of the attention in the world to Wubbin. Nobody's looking at Transonics, so he's able to spend 20 minutes lining up those abilities.
It's the same thing if you're 1v1ing in the dual lane. Recognizing, like, for example, if you focus in on 1v1, you lose track of where the enemy jungler is.
Yep.
So that frees up, even if you have a ward there's so many times where if you're focusing too hard on this 1v1 or this 1v2, that you forget that the jungler is ganking you as well, and then you just die. So having that focal point, whether it's negative or beneficial, can be hurtful for whatever you're trying to do. As a Neith ult, it's onto Clow's butt. Great purification beads. Jellly is doesn't actually ult into anything, and a reset out of Eager.
Yeah, Jellly was going for the pluck, but unfortunately for him and his squad, miss it. If that charge spray connected, that was likely a dead Zeus. But Clow able to find a way out early on this one. All things even in the mid lane, separated by literally 30 gold, not a big deal. Talking about the one-on-one, AirCougar right against Transonics. AirCougar has the lead at the moment.
Lots of autos missed by both, but great movement, really. The biggest thing is holding autos for increased movement speed, trying to hit abilities, trying to predict where the next juke is going next. So Trans and AirCougar, I love the movement out of these two.
And that's the important thing that if you ask high-level hunters as opposed to your more casual users, you never hold down the left click, ever.
Oh, absolutely not. That's some bronze stuff. So really, the biggest thing is holding autos, when to move in, when to move out, staying max distance, waiting for abilities to come up. Obviously, and you're doing all of that while paying attention to the jungle rotation, the support rotation, the mid rotation. A lot of factors going into taking the perfect 1v1.
It's not just holding left click and hit
you just
W
like,
and
run
D.
in, I jump in. Like, no, it's really, you have to really calculate it, at least at the highest level of play.
So both of those hunters wind up empty. Transonics goes on home. Neith pushes the wave a little bit, but Trans right on back. And pretty much a lull in the action as teams start to farm up. I don't think we're going to see that early 2-minute, well, obviously we're past 2 minutes, but I don't think we're going to see that early Gold Fury with this team come.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit hard unless they, I mean, Clow hasn't died. He's doing a wonderful job again with the Zeus. And it's going to come down to Most Wanted. Just farm this out and playing their game. I think if they can get adjust to that juicy mid to late game, I don't see why they could not take this. He has plenty of targets to ult from, with Odin being one of them, and Sobek being another. If timed correctly, he has plenty of ult targets and plenty of execute targets to kill.
Talking about that Odin, he's having a wonderful game over there in the solo lane, leading his opponent by about 400 gold and a whole, or probably more like a half a level. He was able to take out Tier all by his lonesome.
Look at that poke. Delta Marine already at half health, just off 2 lightning bounces. Just able to really be pushing the tower. And the big question is, where is Jellly? He's actually forced to help Cougs out, hold the lane, and finally finish that trans. As remember, he did die for first blood. He's delayed on his stacking build.
So finally getting the damage online. Ullr gonna get a little bit poked out, but not that big a deal. Unravel definitely not the ability of choice.
This is a famous cloud call, going for the Gold Fury, knowing when they can't contest, and it pays off as most want to get the first Gold Fury of the game.
Yeah, you mentioned that's the famous cloud call. You know, that's something that's been around in Smite for so long. Those
that's like a denial call, but Cloud like adapted it, right?
Yeah.
Like because denial, they're known for like, hey, drop everything, we're just doing gold right this second, and it catches people off guard. They go for those cheese objectives, like the cheese fire giants, and stuff like that, or like the cheese invades.
Off guard. That's the key point. I mean, it's. Nope. Why are you at Gold Fury at 6 minutes using ults? Why are you there? Well, because we're gonna successfully kill it. That's why we wound up there, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Cloud recognizing that he has full mid pressure, he's gonna go for the Gold Fury. And that's what they need. Is like Cloud, when he's not dying, he's making beautiful calls like that.
Well played by Jellly, hanging out just the extra second to make sure he picks up that last mid heartbeat. And perfect zoning. That's one of the big things that when they changed that Zeus kit, when Zeus got his little frisbee, it gave Zeus a viable option to zone out the opponent, which is so important.
Yeah, no, it's huge, especially in the mid lane. Having Zeus able to, I can't wait until Cloud gets 3.5 on Xbox, really. Having the Zeus knockback on minions is going to be beautiful. He's going to love it. But really, the biggest thing is just the kit change really helps Zeus get his damage out a little bit more successfully. But we do have a red buff invade.
Not bashful about it either. Team Eager basically waves to Most Wanted as they pass the mid lane and go directly into the enemy jungle. Kuang forced out. And it's not going to be a big deal, but red buff definitely go the way of Team Eager.
Yeah, but we do have a, you know, at least in the area, we have the 5-man squad. We have Koiz still in solo lane just farming. And it doesn't look like Most Wanted even wanted to contest that, as Dwurst was in mid lane ready to kind of show his face if anything nasty went down.
Just in case. Kali's going to pick up her own red buff this time around. Does he give it to Sobek? Nah, they're going to leave it for Isis. So big with a red pot can get nasty.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We were talking about Sobek pentakills earlier today.
Yeah, no, we were mentioning how I think a Guardian's the only thing right now without a pentakill or something like that. And I was like, if a Guardian got a pentakill, if a support got a pentakill, that person would be kicked off the team. If that was like Incom, for example. All right, Con, you're off the team, because why are you getting a pentakill over our carry?
Exactly, you know, I feel like that's the moment where, great job, everybody celebrates, you retweet everything that gets put on social media, and then an hour later you go, all right, you're off the team, bro.
Yeah, because what are you doing to last hit all of that?
Unless, of course, it's a solo lane Sobek.
Oh, yeah, then it's a different story. Then it's like, oh, yeah, okay, good job.
Yep, look at you,
You
killing
were
it.
meant to take all those kills, I guess.
If you guys are just tuning in for our SCL qualifiers, we're talking about pentas because earlier today, Cyclone Spin of Envy in his Hunter role playing Kali, that's a whole story in and of itself, wound up with a pentakill to end the game over there on the PC side of things in the SPL. So a lot of action going on there. You can check us out at esports.smitegame.com for some coverage of that game and a little of the details that go along with it. And for right now, you're looking at Team Eager and Most Wanted Esports in the finals. This is the last game in a set of 3. Everyday Carry is the team that Most Wanted had to get through to get here. And they're of note because that's where Weekend wound up, the former jungler for PC Team Envy. So even with the fresh blood, Everyday Carry unable to find themselves in the finals. It's all about Eager and Most Wanted now.
Yeah, Most Wanted really, they've been playing excellent. They've had great success with Adjust, able to make this Kuang work. And right now for the final game, he's trying to make it work again as we do have some aggression. Jellly
Whopping, grabbed out, double stun into the Clow ultimate. Jellly, first one to fall in that engagement. Transonics trying to find the basics. Can't land the hail of arrows. Now he's stunned out. It's 1v2. AirCougar in a bit of a spot. Gonna get hit by the bladed arrow. Adjusted giving chase. Slow is good. There's the hit from over the wall. Transonics and Adjust combined for the kill onto AirCougar. Great purification to avoid the Fearless. Delta Marine going to be safe and sound. And Dwurst drops the cage just for extra protection. Myflin, Kali getting aggressive, looking towards Transonics. Opts not.
Yeah, decides not to jump in there, recognizing that, well, I'll be met with the rest of Most Wanted. But really, let's talk about that coordination for that dive on Cougar. That was beautiful.
That was great.
Able to hit over the wall to set up for the execute, executed him, toss him up in the air, and then we had another engagement down mid-tier 1 as Dwurst is here.
Clow gets the Khepri gift right away. Clow's running for the tower. He needs to die now, but it's a hair too late. AirCougar picks up the kill on the mid lane, despite Clow's best efforts. Just gonna walk away into the base by Dwurst. Great hit out of the Odin, 3-3. All things tied up.
And now Eager sets their eyes on the prize. Gold Fury it is. 11 minutes in the game is going to give quite a decent amount of gold.
Say it. Say it. I know you want to say it.
What?
They're getting the objective after the fight, Allied.
What? The stuff after the stuff?
There you go. Yeah. You say it all the time when you make fun of me on Fight Club.
No, it's not making fun of you. I'm appreciating.
You're
the F. appreciation.
You're memeing me out, man. You're such a memer over there. You ever play on a team with Clow?
No, I haven't actually. I've scrimmed again. We were scrim partners briefly. Going to Xbox World, so that's where, I learned to appreciate the Clow.
You were talking about, memers. You're a memer yourself. You dabble.
I think I have, yeah. I meme in good taste. That's what I like to say.
You dabble.
But yeah, looks like you do confirm the Gold Fury. 33 as
literal stoppage.
Yeah,
all right, there you go.
Pause is out. Okay, must have been
teams actually literally paused before they paused.
Yeah, I was like, did we desync? So yeah, it looks like both teams are kind of resetting there. A little bit of pause, which will mean that any kind of momentum gets stopped. And really, it's an even-ish game.
Yeah, this is that sort of middle of the game lull fest where the Gold Fury's down. It's far too early to go for Fire Giant, so both teams just try to farm up. Especially when you've got a god like a Kali in the game, you're really just sitting there, lean back. All right, we just want to get our farm as much as possible.
It's going to be late game madness as the game resumes. And really, the biggest question is, can it just pop off, or is Myflin going to get his number? Those Odin rotations have been key, so we did see Dwurst yet again solo the Koiz, and there's aggression.
In some trouble, and that's going to secure it. Myflin gets another kill onto the jungler. That's
surprised
2
no
deaths.
Wubbin ult there, really, even just disengaged. Seems like he waited. Beads are good, and looks like Dwurst is jumping in all by himself, not afraid.
Clow ultimate was strong to really prevent the all-in. Wubbin going to toss Clow directly into Delta Marine. Ultimate from Khepri on the mark this time around. Clow nowhere near to death. The hit out of Jellly is enough, and he gets 2 for his troubles. That's a double kill for the support. 3 more and you're off the team.
Yeah.
Shots on a tier. And this looks like a dead Matt Koiz, but the spear ball not going to find a home. And Matt Koiz just dancing and dancing and dancing some more. Kali finds him though.
Yeah,
Barry put 7.
He had nowhere to go. That was great patience out of Myflin, stunning him as he was dashing towards. He could have actually turned that. If that dash would have hit and he were to use his 2, then that would have been more than enough. But, yeah, Myflin, great reaction, heads up play. Eager turn what seemed to be an even game completely in their advantage as they have so much momentum going into this next team fight.
Adjust has no business being here, and Dwurst lets him know. Adjusted, taken out by all 4 members of Team Eager here in the mid lane. Myflin, on the other hand, getting his farm on in the back. Harps, exactly what you want your Kali to do. Team Eager now taking a little bit of a lead by about 1,000 and some change. Not a huge deal, but they're walking in the right direction.
Yeah, and the biggest thing here is momentum. You can feel demoralized, especially if you're most wanted, and you want to also look where to pick up on. But with Kuang, anything is possible, especially once you get your itemization online. We do have the Obsidian Shard. We got to see if the poly is done. And now we get to talk about the other side of the story, Trans.
The axe into the purification is not a good look in what was a fantastic pickoff maneuver by Most Wanted support. Love the play out of Wubbin there. Unfortunately, the axe into the golden character, not going to hit.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is, can Trans, I mean, he does have a slight lead, not even slight, more than slight. He has a great lead on AirCougar as, yeah, we kind of move in 15 minutes in. And really the biggest thing is, can Trans get the itemization online to clean up and deal with this squad of Eager?
Now, you mentioned itemization, and I always think that Ullr's an interesting case. Matt Koiz in some trouble, forced to use the ultimate to get out of jail. Stunned one more time. Khepri Lash will find him, but the Odin jump won't. That's enough for Matt Koiz to be safe. Jellly and his mid laner stopped out a little bit. Myflin very deep, looking for Clow. Finally finds him after the Sanctuary's over. But Matt Koiz going to push him around just a little bit. Adjusted use of the ultimate as CC this time. And he is not going to fall. He gets the kill on a Jellly, but Myflin quickly takes out Adjust. Now he's going to find a way out, but Clow says no. Pulls on the detonate. Takes out the jungler.
And Eager a little bit out of position. Dwurst with the jump over. Trans is looking for it. Can't quite find it now. The eyes are set onto Delta Marine. Great beads. Able to stop that. Oh! Wubbin not being patient enough. Could have gotten the pull in if he waited just a millisecond longer and it would have been a free kill on Delta Marine. But doesn't look like Most Wanted is too concerned as their eyes are set for the Tier 1.
Tier 1 going to go down here at 16 minutes. And Dwurst going to show up from the backside and surprise Clow. Shove him into the fountain. Ultimate out of Isis to save the life of Odin. Good hit from Transonics, but thanks to the ultimate from Delta Marine, Odin heals up just enough for it not to be lethal.
Yeah, and what looked like an advantage for Most Wanted Esports, once again, Eager turnaround.
Yep.
And the biggest thing is that I felt like Eager probably overstayed their welcome. They dove a little bit too hard there, and Cloud was able to get some good detonate charges off, picking up 2 Jellly and Myflin. And Goldfear is respawning, and now Eager, yet again, at the end of this fight with the advantage, are looking to get themselves another Goldfear.
Nobody around from Most Wanted to really deal with this. Adjust knows what's going on, but also knows that he can't do much. Still, he'll take a look at it, see what he can do as far as the cleanup is concerned to the players. But one more time, finds himself a little too deep. 2-5-1 on Most Wanted's jungler.
That seems to be the story with Adjust. Early game, this Kuang is not really going in his favor. He can't really get anything going. Once he gets the itemization online, though, maybe that'll be a different story.
I mean, he's got some of the itemization on. He's got the Polynomicon, but fighting 1v4, just not a good prescription. Wubbin surrounded, forced to ultimate himself. Cloud drops his ult in there, though. Myflin in the immunity. No detonate from Clow. Dwurst in some trouble. Wubbin might be in more trouble, though, if they keep fighting this. Jellly shows up, and a retreat from Team Eager. Matt Koiz chasing him down.
Yeah, Matt Koiz couldn't really get anything going there. He's going to rotate back to Solon and farm out, but really the biggest thing is they cannot find the kills that they need here. And this Khepri,
what kills do they need?
Delta Marine down. Myflin down. If they can take care of this mid jungle, it's really off the back end of Adjust. Like a lot of these fights, Adjust doesn't get any damage off, or it's not the correct damage, or uses cooldowns on a tank, and he needs to really get to the point where they need a throw that Erde carried it. That's what they need. Eager needs to throw a team fight, and Adjust needs to pick up all the kills, and then we get to see Adjust pop off like he did against Erde carry.
Myflin now being aggressed on by Most Wanted, and he's in his own jungle, but Most Wanted still looking to be aggressive. Swag flip, not enough as the Fearless is stopped by Dwurst's cage. Great play from Odin.
Yeah, he actually meditated just to survive there a little bit. And really the biggest thing is that they couldn't get anything. But even though that's a wasted Odin cage, it's up in 5 seconds anyway.
Exactly.
So, in the dual lane.
Yeah, looking at the Odin build, he's got no, all he has is breastplate. So.
And Bork. I mean, it's okay. Just your standard.
I'm talking CDR.
Oh, yeah, no. Does not have the full CDR kind of rolling here.
And it doesn't look like he's going to build, unless that's a Discord. If that's a Mantle of Discord, that'll help him out. Khepri caught out. Not quite. Looked like that was a worse situation than it actually was on the minimap. But red from the top side and the left side. Going to catch Eager in the pincer here. Zeus observing and playing safe.
Blows the bees a little bit early. Try to get out there. We do have Adjust backing away. Oh, we do have Matt Koiz jumping in. Doesn't actually get anything. The beads are good. Wubbin fails to connect that. Meanwhile, on the backside, Dwurst is going to look for the 5-man cage. He's going for a
ultimate from Clow. Where's the detonate? He needs the damage. Can't find it. Jellly lives. Koiz jumps. Grabbed up by the Khepri. Up in the air he goes, and not enough from Adjust, but it's enough from AirCougar.
Yeah, it gets turned around immediately. Delta Marine picks up Koiz, and really the biggest thing is to just execute a little bit too early there. I felt like he was pressured to make the execute happen. Really ends up wasting it and forces himself back to base as yet again Eager are just getting the better end of the stick here. And the big thing was Trans was taken out. It's going to make him fall behind Cougar now, as he was getting the upper hands, but now with Cougar a part of these fights, Eager feel even more dominant.
Dwurst's going to give chase to Wubben all by himself underneath this tower. He's very tanky though, 4-0-7, so he might be able to outlive the tower. Can he outlive it for a second life as Khepri heals himself? I don't think so. But it gives Myflin enough time to take out Adjust. And now finally, Khepri in some trouble. Wubben gets lashed, and the dot's good. Myflin with 2. Delta Marine takes the 3rd away from the young Kali Ma. Yeah. The tower is all that they get.
You really have to be wondering why they didn't ban Myflin's Kali. I mean, it's been strong. It's doing a lot right now. And now Eager, after all those picks and a tier 2, set themselves up to easily grab a Fire Giant.
Oh, so easily. Here comes Tier. Do what he can. But that Fire Giant already down to 34%.
Love the peel.
And Tier's out.
Yeah, Jellly with great presence of mind, able to sit back. He's like, I don't need to tank this. I'm just going to peel away.
Tier's in. 1%. Team Eager still pick up the Fire Giant. Stun, root, toast. Myflin takes out Matt Koiz.
And the big thing there is with the Ice Assault, it is impossible to steal that. Trans falls down to Jellly. Odin Cage really just kind of solidified the fact that Trans cannot get away with his jump down, and now Adjust is being hunted.
Yeah, Matt Koiz, such a strong game from the solo laner, 4-0-10. He's always where the enemy doesn't want him to be, finding the backline, finding the squishies, jumping right on top. Jellly leading the charge, Team Eager ahead by 10K. Fire Giant around their waists, looking at the mid Phoenix. Cloud drops the ultimate just to keep the enemy off, but it's just not strong enough. Mid Phoenix goes down. Adjust from the back takes out Delta Marine.
Huge pick, actually, as the chase is on. Great Khepri revive, and they only lose mid Phoenix, but at least they effectively take out the mid laner as Eager are forced to retreat.
Huge pick, as you mentioned. That's going to cut the stacks in half for that Isis.
Half.
2.5.
I like it. But yeah, the Isis with 3 more of Dynasty Plate Dome and the Soul Reaver, not going to be, I mean, it's going to be a lot of damage, but not going to be as much as Eager solidify their lead even more with this Gold Fury. And that's going to spike them extremely in the lead. Taking a look at the graphs, actually not taking a look at the graphs, we do realize that Team Eager are, oh no, taking a look at the graphs, 11K up on gold and 12K on experience, and that was my bad.
That was your bad, Allied. 18-6 read the kills as 23-15 is on the clock. Most Wanted have not been able to replicate the success they had in game number 1. And game number 2, they faltered a little bit. Game number 3 was kind of closer for a little bit, but
yeah,
Team Eager just able to pull out.
It was looking a lot better early. I felt like Most Wanted got what they got going, but they just traded the feed stick, right? Like, Adjust really just couldn't get anything going, and that's been a big thing with his Kuang. He's, you know, really, you want like an Eager throw, but Eager is so experienced, so ready to win, and they've been playing solid all game. I mean, chemistry-wise, they have a couple of deaths here and there, but they are playing like a very solid team.
Jellly and Myflin combine over on the left side to take down the tower. AirCougar's going to show up as well. Everybody but Odin on the left side of the map, and Odin's going to treat Tier to the dance of himself. Looks like Tier will back and leave. Odin's going to try and go for this Phoenix himself, or at least see if he can drag somebody over here away from the fight. That is the left-hand Phoenix, and Adjust setting himself up for surprise.
I love that split push pressure as Eager look to grab the final Phoenixes, really just to end this game.
Look at Odin. Odin's going to take the Phoenix or take a life. Adjust, notice aggression coming out from Eager as they want to start the fight on the left-hand side. Odin's going to look on the right. Keep an eye on your minimap as that Phoenix has started to lose HP. Left-hand side, everybody from Most Wanted is paying attention to that. Nobody's looking at the right. The Phoenix on the right-hand side falls. Wubben gets into trouble as he tries to be aggressive. Justin has no chance. Myflin takes him out immediately. Jelly's taking damage. Myflin takes out Wubbin for kill number 2. Almost a little too deep as he takes a lot of damage from the Phoenix. And it's Odin by himself on the Titan.
Yeah,
it's Odin by himself on the Titan. I don't know if he's got enough. The ring's good. Very low. RK Odin out of nowhere. Team Eager take out the Titan with the old okie doke.
I can't believe. So he soloed the right Phoenix.
Yep.
And then walked in slowly and caged the Titan. Like
Odin just walked into the base and killed their dudes. Sometimes that happens, man. You know, we hear so many players complaining about the classic back door. What about the side door?
Yeah.
That guy just walked right on through to the screen door into the kitchen and said, "This is mine."
Yeah.
Just took what he came for.
This is mine now. So Dwurst really, I mean, commanding play overall. He was probably the most solid member on Eager, going all 3 games.
Yeah,
he
without
was
a doubt.
Consistent. He was soloing Koiz over and over again. He got like the soul lane lead. That was every soul lane wants, right? The Omega lead, really. That's what I like to call it, where you just constantly always have the edge on the other soul laner.
We'll take a look at how this one started off about 25 minutes ago. It was in the long lane. Aggression coming out from Eager didn't work out in their favor. Check this out. Jellly goes for the pluck and kind of nails it.
Yeah, the biggest thing was that it was a little bit under the tower. They aggress here. They have a lot of archers.
Yeah, here it is.
And yeah, Wubbin gets plucked under the tower. He tries to run back the focus. Notice the focus was on him, and they turn it with a great axe bladed arrow combination. And immediately, first blood goes to Cougs. I mean, against Cougs.
Yeah, unable to turn that into successful play, unfortunately. Let's take a look one more time at the tape as we cover some of the events that happened in this one. In this one, the final one. Here's a Dwurst one more time. And like you said, a big deal coming out from the solo lane Odin in this game. And the whole series, honestly.
He's been a big playmaker, especially in this series. The biggest thing is his rotations were on point. He was able to manhandle Koiz. Just overall, very solid soul laner. Very scary on rotation and his 1v1 potential, despite the matchup. Like, there's been so many different matchups going on, and Dwurst, no matter how bad it may seem, still makes the better end, as, yeah, he's the kind of player of the game.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people were talking about how Dwurst is this new player. He's so good. It used to be all about AirCougar last time. Now it's all about Dwurst. You know, the reason he's so good was he started from a good spot. Dwurst's Xing Tian brought Eager through the UMG land that we had here at hi-rez.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this character has always been a fixture on the Eager lineup, and then you combine him with some training from the world champ Omega, somebody who is just revered in that solo lane. You combine a little bit of training there, and just out of this world stuff from Dwurst. Far from it. We'll take a look at how they all wound up here in the finals. The final match going to Team Eager, despite a fantastic performance from Most Wanted in a single game. Eager versus Cognitive as they ran through Paul and his squad, and then Most Wanted through Everyday Carry as they run through Chapo and what is now Weekend's new squad as well. Both of those teams, Cognitive Gaming is kind of Paul's team, but the other squad, Everyday Carry, very, very tough to deal with.
I think the biggest thing with Everyday Carry, I would like to see them in the next coming weeks as they train up. This is literally like an overnight team switch. You might have heard of this week, but I think if they stick with it out and practice up, this could be a long-term change that could be most beneficial. As I mean, most people consider them like top 2.
Yeah, I mean they were one of the best teams on the console scene before Weekend decided to switch over. And now that Weekend has, I mean, you know, personal feeling, whatever your feelings out there, if you're an Envy fan or not, I mean, you can't say that Weekend won't be able to impact one of these teams. So definitely going to be a big swing for them, hopefully. That's going to do it for us here today on Sunday, but tomorrow we've got one more SPL match. It's the perennial match of the week. Monday Night Smite coming at you live from Alpharetta, Georgia. Tomorrow night will be Paradigm taking on Fnatic, one of the more high-profile European matches. It will be very exciting as the Smite Pro League continues on and continues on being exciting. Paradigm versus Fnatic, who you got?
I think I have Paradigm after Fnatic's last performance. We'll have to see what the Paradigm boys have concocted. They've been with the same roster for so long. They obviously would have more experience. It really depends on how Jiffy and the boys kind of measure up. And really, when I say Jiffy and the boys, I just want to see if Jiffy can step up to the plate. This is his first time he's going to be well, second time now, it's going to be on the SPL field.
Yeah, first time around didn't fare too well for Jiffy, but we've heard so many different stories that a lot of people have just sort of shaken it up to nerves. We'll see if those nerves are gone or if Paradigm is going to be able to sweep them under the rug like their opponents did earlier in the week. Monday Night Smite coming at you tomorrow here on hi-rez TV. That does it for us here this Sunday afternoon. Have a happy holiday if you celebrate it. And from everybody here, myself, Allied, DM Brandon, Adanas1, and of course, Peckies, have a wonderful evening.